You don't need millions of fans. Spotify needs millions of users. If you're an indie artist like myself, you own your masters and you just want to earn a living, live comfortably doing what you do, you need hundreds of fans. If you have 1,000 fans, you're good.
I think a lot of the issues that persist and have persisted over the last several decades in the music industry, the notion of, in spite of artists and creators, creating and producing the music that is driving the music industry, they're often the very last people in the chain to get paid. Everything from like knowing who your fans are and being able to like communicate with them, like no streaming service really allows for that right now. The streaming services ultimately own that data. Then also on like the ownership and rights level, like knowing who collaborated on a song. Like even in 2022, still hearing stories all the time of people like exchanging emails and threads going to like 100 messages, try to figure out, what exactly this percentage split is on the song. That's kind of ridiculous to me, given how much you would think technology is advanced.
I don't know that I'd say that the current music economy is broken. In fact, the music economy currently has gotten better and better since the advent of streaming and following piracy as the primary means of music consumption in the early 2000s and late 1990s. Simultaneously, what I would say is that that model is predicated upon a model where the vast majority of artists fail. And if you look at the business model of most of the major music companies, it's the idea of signing, dozens of acts and only one or two making it.
What has been so exciting about the current music Web3 wave is that it has almost completely been led by individual independent artists who are just getting very scrappy and experimenting and raising money directly and immediately from supporters. And also in terms of the amount of value they're getting from a smaller group of people, just completely flipping the economics of streaming on its head as we know it. So that's kind of one area, like the artists now being at the center of how money flows financially.
The goal of the record industry right now is to sell ads on Spotify. And that is why you have a lot of artists that believe they need millions of fans. They believe they need a major machine, a dinosaur record label pushing them. I sold 60 ETH worth of NFTs in 60 seconds to 700 supporters. That was enough to give me a runway to sustain me for a couple years at least. People want more than just to listen to your music. They'll gladly pay to go to a concert before they'll pay to buy your album in almost all cases, right? So how do you deliver access? How do you deliver experiences? How do you deliver physical merchandise and other forms of value beyond just the music?
NFTs are an exciting prospect for every artist, but the thing that excites me the most is the empowerment of emerging artists. So Cosign was really playing off of that. When we announced the company in its early days, we announced we would be doing an emerging artist spotlight. That frankly wasn't really anything other than an idea. And that idea stemmed from the fact that, if you are lucky enough as a fan to buy a rookie card, and you are able to form an economic connection between you and that artist before they become a star, and your belief in fandom in that artist, goes along with the ascension to stardom, well then of course value is created across the entire value chain.
There's just a lot of boundaries around releasing music with record labels and stuff like that. So I think it opens the opportunity up for independent artists and people that are trying to build their brand from the start or just independently in general.
The artist-to-fan relationship is the most symbiotic and most necessary relationship in the music industry. There is no successful label, etc., without a fan base for an artist. And so I feel like for the first time ever, there is an opportunity for, when your favorite artist is, popping off, you get to eat when they eat as a fan. I love the idea that my fans could make an investment in me, make a return on their investment. Really, outside of the creative who's making the art, those are the people who break the artist. It's not the team and it's not that, it's genuinely the fan. So I feel like to be able to let them participate in a greater way is really exciting.
It also allows an artist to get access to capital without going into debt, without taking a loan against one of their future revenue streams. This is something we believe can be revolutionary and we believe can be very helpful to artists so that they can negotiate better deals later in their careers with the big companies and frankly I think it's a win for everyone in the ecosystem. I don't think this is something that replaces the labels, for example. I think the labels simultaneously get to watch these artists and take less risk, and therefore do more fair deals. We are seeing all sorts of controversy right now about minting fees and gas fees. When we started OneOf, we really tried to go head on into facing these major issues. We do not charge minting and gas costs. Minting an NFT on our platform, because we mint on Tezos, uses approximately the amount of electricity of tweeting a tweet, whereas minting an NFT on Ethereum uses approximately the amount of electricity of the average US household over a period of 5.3 days.
I feel like all music fans have these stories that we exchange at the bar or at a festival or whatever, where it's like, oh yeah, you see that band or you hear this song? I saw that band before they were famous, you know? I always tell the story. I saw the Killers at the rave in Milwaukee when there were 50 people in the room before Hot Fuss came out. But what do you get for that? What do you have to show for it? You know, I don't have the ticket stub from the Killers at the rave. I don't know. I wouldn't have even thought to keep that ticket stub. I didn't buy a t-shirt. If I did, it'd probably be raggedy or wouldn't even fit me anymore. I didn't buy a vinyl record. If I did, who knows if I would have found it or if I lost it by now or whatever. If that ticket had been an NFT, however, or if I had bought something at the merch table and it came with an NFT, I would still have it in my wallet right now. So I think for the fan, it allows you to sort of quantify your support.
The labels have to get on board. We believe that the publishers have to get on board. And we're a long ways away from that. But slowly but surely, artists are going to see the ways that this can empower their careers, and the fans are going to see the ways in which this can empower their early fandom. I just believe in this idea that empowering emerging artists, getting them at the junction of their career where they're still essentially a rookie, is incredibly exciting for that artist, but also for the fans that believe in them.